Welcome to MaxLife Man, your essential YouTube channel, expertly led by our top expert, Dr. Sterling Thorne. Dr. Thorne and his top team from the prestigious Evergreen Peaks Institute bring years of dedicated research and hands-on experience in men's health. We deliver insightful, heartfelt podcasts designed to optimize your health and unlock your best self. Gentlemen, let's start with something most men over 40 never admit out loud. There's a moment, and if you're honest, you felt it when you realize you're not the man you used to be. Not in the I can't party until 2 a.m. anymore way. No, it's subtler, quieter, almost polite, like a polite knock at your door from Father Time. One day you're tossing dumbbells around the gym like you did in your 30s. The next, the same weight feels heavier. Your shirts fit a little different. You stand in front of the mirror and see a version of yourself that's still you, but softer around the edges. At 40, the clock starts ticking. At 50, it gets louder. And by 60, if you haven't fought back, it's like trying to sprint up a hill with a weighted vest. Now here's the shocker. This isn't about getting old. This is about testosterone, your body's lifeline for muscle, strength, and vitality. And for most men, testosterone starts sliding downhill long before you notice. The drop is slow, but the damage compounds. Less muscle, more belly fat, lower drive in the gym and the bedroom. But here's the part they never tell you: you can fight back. Not with some $80 bottle of mystery powder, not with a magic exercise, but with science-based, battle-tested strategies that men like you are already using to stay lean, strong, and sharp well into their 60s, 70s, and beyond. The quiet decline men don't see coming. Picture this: you're 42, you've still got some gas in the tank, you might even think you're in pretty good shape. But slowly, without fanfare, things start to shift. You recover slower from workouts. You start skipping gym days, telling yourself you're just too busy. That ring of muscle around your shoulders, it starts blending into the rest of your upper body. Your belt notch creeps the wrong way. And then the little things. You get winded climbing stairs you used to bound up. Your knees ache after a game of pickup basketball. You sleep a little worse, which makes you crave junk food a little more, which makes the belly fat stick even harder. By the time you're 50, your testosterone has dropped roughly 30% from your 20s. That's not a maybe, that's a statistical reality, documented in studies from Harvard and the Mayo Clinic. And testosterone doesn't just control muscle, it's the conductor for your body's entire male performance orchestra. Energy, mood, libido, fat distribution, even mental sharpness. Let me give you a picture from my own clinic. I had a patient, let's call him Mike. Mike was 56, a former college soccer player. He came in not because he felt old, but because, in his words, I just can't seem to get ahead anymore. His workouts weren't building muscle. He was carrying stubborn belly fat. His energy dipped around 3 p.m. every day like clockwork. He thought it was just aging. It wasn't. It was the slow, quiet erosion of his testosterone, compounded by years of training the wrong way for his age, eating like he was still 25 and ignoring recovery. Here's the thing: Mike's story is everywhere. You've probably seen it in friends, brothers, maybe even in the mirror. This isn't weakness, it's biology, but biology can be managed. Think of testosterone like the water level in a lake. When it's high, all the boats, your strength, your mood, your focus, your drive, sit high and move fast. When it drops, the boats drag, they scrape bottom, they slow down. And just like a lake, your testosterone level changes with the seasons of your life unless you have a system to keep it full. Why most men miss the warning signs. The problem: testosterone decline is sneaky. It doesn't announce itself. You don't wake up one day and say, "Ah, yes, I've lost 15% of my testosterone this year." Instead, it's a long, slow negotiation between your body and your habits. Every skipped workout, every night of bad sleep, every month of low-protein meals, they all push the needle in the wrong direction. And here's a bitter truth: the fitness industry makes it worse. Most advice is built for 20-year-olds on Instagram, not for the man over 40 who needs to protect his joints, his hormones, and his recovery. They'll tell you to train harder, when what you actually need is to train smarter. They'll push endless cardio for fat loss, not telling you that overdoing it can lower testosterone even more. Gentlemen, the road back starts with knowledge. If you understand why your body is changing, you can stop the slide and then reverse it. The role of testosterone, your lifeline after 40. Gentlemen, let's call testosterone what it really is, the commanding general of your male body. It's not just about building biceps or having a healthy libido. Testosterone is the hormone that tells your body what kind of man to be. It decides where you store fat, how much muscle you carry, how fast you recover, how sharp your mind feels, and even how confidently you walk into a room. When it's high and healthy, life feels electric. You wake up before the alarm clock. You look in the mirror and see muscle definition even when you're not flexing. You can put in a full day's work, hit the gym, and still have energy for the people and passions you care about. When it's low, the opposite happens, and it doesn't take a crash to feel the effects. Even a gradual decline chips away at the man you know yourself to be. You gain belly fat without changing your diet. Your muscle feels softer, you sleep worse. Your recovery drags, your mood flatter. And here's the kicker, this decline can start in your late 30s, creep through your 40s, and if you ignore it, by the time you're 60, you've lost half of your prime testosterone levels. Why this matters more than ever after 40. I tell my patients this all the time. You can be fit in your 20s by accident. After 40, it's a choice, and testosterone decides how easy or hard that choice is. At 25, you could eat a burger and fries and still wake up lean. You could skip a week in the gym and bounce back in days. But at 45, that same burger sticks to your waistline, and a week off can mean a month of work to get back to where you were. Testosterone is the reason why. When it's lower, you store fat more easily, especially around your belly. You lose lean muscle mass faster. Your metabolism slows. And that loss of muscle isn't just cosmetic. Muscle tissue is one of the biggest calorie burners in your body, even at rest. Muscle, fat, libido, recovery all tied to one hormone. Think of testosterone as the CEO of 4 key departments in your body. Muscle-high testosterone tells your body to prioritize lean mass. Low T tells your body muscle is expensive to keep, so it lets it waste away. Fat-high T helps keep fat-burning pathways active. Low T signals your body to store fat, especially visceral fat, the dangerous kind that wraps around your organs. Libido testosterone is your sex drive's fuel. Low levels don't just lower desire, they can make it harder to perform when you want to. Recovery after training, high T speeds muscle repair. Low T slows it down, which means more soreness, longer rest times, and fewer quality workouts. When all 4 departments are thriving, life feels like it should. But if even one starts to falter, the others follow. The 40-plus body, new rules. Gentlemen, here's a truth most fitness magazines won't print because it doesn't sell 30-day miracle plans. Your body after 40 does not respond to training the same way it did in your 20s. This isn't about giving up, it's about playing a smarter game. The rules have changed, and you either adapt or get left behind. Abs after 40, the reality check. Yes, you can have visible abs after 40, 50, even 60, but they are not won in the gym, they are revealed in the kitchen. The biggest mistake men make, trying to train their way out of a bad diet. Endless crunches won't outwork a steady drip of beer, bread, and sugar. At this stage of life, abs come from a combination of clean eating with a focus on protein and micronutrients, strength training to preserve and build muscle, smart cardio that burns fat without crushing testosterone. And remember, the skin over your abs isn't as elastic as it once was. This means getting lean enough without crash dieting is key to avoiding a drawn, unhealthy look. Why workouts from your 20s don't work now. If you're still training like you did in college, you're not just wasting effort, you might be hurting yourself. At 25, your recovery time is fast. You can train heavy 5 days a week and still grow. At 45 plus, recovery slows. Connective tissue is less forgiving, and inflammation can linger longer. Here's what changes need to happen. Volume down, intensity up shorter, more focused workouts with heavier lifts and cleaner form. More recovery days. Recovery is where you actually grow muscle now. Joint-friendly exercises swap barbell bench for dumbbell press, deep back squats for goblet squats, high-impact sprints for sled pushes or cycling. Workouts for men over 40, 50, 60, dumbbell only, perfect for home training or travel. Focus on compound lifts, dumbbell bench press, one-arm rows, goblet squats, dumbbell deadlifts, overhead presses. These hit every major muscle group without the joint stress of heavy barbells. Gym-based. Here you can push heavier and use machines for safety. Incline dumbbell press, cable rows, leg press, lat pull-down, machine-assisted dips and pull-ups. At-home bodyweight if you've got no equipment. Push-ups, incline, decline, diamond. Chair dips, step-ups, wall sits, planks and side planks. Cardio without killing testosterone. Here's the thing, cardio is not the enemy. But too much high-intensity, high-volume cardio can lower testosterone, especially if you're also in a calorie deficit. Best cardio for men over 40. Low-intensity steady state lists like walking, hiking, cycling at a conversational pace. Short HIIT sessions, no more than 20 minutes, 1-2 times per week. Active hobbies, swimming, tennis, basketball with friends. Why too much cardio can backfire. Let me tell you about Chris, a 52-year-old accountant who came into my clinic. He'd been running 6 miles a day, 6 days a week, trying to run off the 25 extra pounds he'd gained since his 40s. The result? His belly wasn't smaller, his knees hurt, and his blood tests showed lower testosterone than he'd had at 42. When I switched him to 3 strength sessions a week, 2 metabolic circuit days, and long walks instead of long runs, he dropped 15 pounds in 4 months, most of it fat, not muscle. His testosterone went up, his sleep improved, and the spark came back to his marriage. Lesson: after 40, your body needs to be convinced to hold onto muscle, not encouraged to burn it. Cardio has its place, but it should support your goals, not sabotage them. Live anabolic, not anemic. Live anabolic isn't just about lifting weights. It's about making every choice a muscle-building choice. Are you lifting heavy enough to tell your body, "We need this muscle"? Are you eating enough protein to repair and grow? Are you sleeping enough to recover and boost hormones? After 40, the worst thing you can do is drift into what I call anemic training. Light weights, too many machines, endless cardio, not enough food. It's a slow march toward weakness. Fueling for muscle after 40, 50, 60. Here's what most men get wrong. They cut calories too hard, thinking less food equals more fat loss. But if you're lifting, your body needs fuel. Too little protein and you'll lose muscle. Too few carbs and your training intensity drops. The sweet spot for most men over 40. Protein, 0. 8.1 g per pound of body weight per day. Carbs, enough to fuel workouts and recovery. Focus on whole sources like oats, rice, potatoes, fruit. Fats from eggs, nuts, olive oil, fatty fish to keep hormones humming. Nutrition that keeps testosterone high. Your diet can be your best ally or your worst enemy for testosterone. Foods that boost testosterone naturally. Eggs, yolks included, cholesterol is the building block for testosterone. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, omega-3s support hormone health. Lean red meat, zinc plus creatine for strength and recovery. Pomegranate antioxidants that support blood flow and testosterone. Dark leafy greens, magnesium to support free testosterone levels. Hidden testosterone killers to avoid. Excess sugar spikes insulin, which can suppress testosterone. Alcohol binges lowers T for days afterward. Highly processed seed oils in junk food. Excessive soy in large amounts can impact estrogen balance. The Fit After 50 blueprint. By the time you're in your 50s, the margin for error shrinks, but the potential for results is still massive. Here's the blueprint I give my private clients. Mindset shift: stop comparing yourself to your 25-year-old self. Compare yourself to who you were last month. Progress, not perfection, wins after 50. Strength first: make resistance training the centerpiece of your plan. Recovery as a tool. Sleep, mobility, and active recovery are now muscle-building tools, not optional extras. Consistency over intensity. The guy who trains smart and recovers well beats the guy who burns out every time. Recovery as a muscle-building tool. Gentlemen, let's start with the truth that separates men who look strong from men who stay strong. Recovery is where the muscle is built. When you lift, you're not actually building muscle, you're breaking it down. Your body repairs that damage in the hours and days after your workout, and it's during that repair process that muscle fibers grow back thicker, denser, and stronger. But here's the thing: after 40, recovery is no longer just get some sleep. It's a strategic weapon, the recovery triangle. Sleep 7-9 hours a night. Deep, uninterrupted sleep boosts growth hormone and testosterone. Nutrition, protein, and micronutrients to repair tissue. Active recovery, low-intensity movement to keep blood flowing and joints healthy. When you master these, you stop the spiral of soreness, injury, and burnout, and you start stacking consistent gains. Muscle monsters and ripped Grandpa G energy. Let me tell you about Frank, 67 years old, retired fire captain. When Frank came to me, he had the classic, I used to be in shape body, decent shoulders, a bit of a belly, and an old back injury from his service days. We built his program around low joint stress, big lifts, short metabolic finishers, and plenty of recovery work. 6 months later, he wasn't just leaner. He looked like someone had taken 20 years off him. His testosterone levels were higher than most men in their 40s. His wife was asking if he was training for something, and he could deadlift more than his body weight without pain. Then there's Paul, 72, who started lifting in his 60s. Paul's grandkids call him Ripped Grandpa, and they're not joking. He doesn't train every day, he trains smart. 3 strength sessions per week, 2 active recovery days, daily walks, consistent protein intake. The result? Strong, mobile, and more confident than he was in his 40s. How they trained, ate, and recovered. The formula isn't magic, but it is precise. Train, full-body strength sessions using compound lifts. Eat enough protein, balanced carbs, and healthy fats. Recover, sleep like it's your job, walk daily, stretch. This balance keeps hormones optimized, muscles fueled, and joints pain-free. The MaxLife Man Challenge: 30 days to restart your engine. Here's your starter plan. Week 1-2, foundation. 3 strength workouts, 2 walks, 30+ minutes. Sleep goal, 7 hours minimum. Protein 0, 8 g per pound of body weight. Week 3-4, progression. Add 1 more set to main lifts. Include 1 metabolic circuit per week. Track waist measurement and strength numbers. You're not chasing perfection here, you're building momentum. At the end of 30 days, you'll have more energy, better muscle tone, and the confidence to keep going. Close plus call to action. Gentlemen, you're not too old, you're not past your prime, you're not done. What you are is 1 decision away from turning the ship around. If you've been nodding along during this episode, here's what I want from you. Drop a "I'm in the comments so I know you're starting. Like this video so YouTube shows it to other men who need it. Subscribe so you don't miss the next step in the plan. This is MaxLife Man. This is your move. And trust me, the best chapters of your strength story are still ahead.